This newly renovated home, named the Robin House, is currently home to 5 girls, a part of Project 1649. The project, which helps empower Rock County's homeless youth to achieve and succeed, has been open since February and has already helped 8 girls do just that. They currently are bringing new girls into their home. Public health officials say that if you see the algae bloom in the water, to not go in. And if you do come in contact with the bloom, to wash yourself and your pets off immediately, as the toxins can be very harmful to you or your pet. Now, if you want to make sure that you and your family are swimming safely, you can always go to the publichealthmdc.com/beaches website to see which parks are open and which are closed. As you can see behind me, the most damage that happened at the University of Wisconsin-Platteville happened right here behind the football stadium. The winds were strong enough to mangle the fence that lined the stadium, as well as break down trees. But the most impressive thing that the storm did was to bend the light post in half. The 3-story addition will bring more than 111,000 square feet of total office space available to Ultratech. Officials say that the new building will mirror their current building in the way that it will be easily accessible to people of all abilities. Construction has already begun on the expansion and is expected to be completed sometime in March of 2015. Reporting in the University Research Park, I'm Amanda Skrzypchak, ABC 27 News. A member of the Friends of Orton Park said that, well, we lost the tree, but we did gain a piece of playground equipment. The tree behind me will be used as a piece of organic playground equipment for one of Madison's oldest parks. Friends of Orton Park and Madison's Park Department will be talking sometime next week about what they're going to be doing with this fallen tree. Officials are working to board up the homes that were severely damaged, but they're not certain when all of the debris will be completely cleaned up and homeowners will be safe to move back into their homes. Monday night, severe weather knocked down a tree in Orton Park. When the Park District attempted to remove the tree on Wednesday afternoon, members of the Friends of Orton Park refused to let Park District workers take a part of their community. The group wants to turn the fallen tree into a piece of organic playground equipment. Workers cleaned up small amounts of debris before leaving most of the tree where it fell.
It's nice. We've had a lot of partial battle wins here with the Parks Department, but we've lost a lot of the war.
Loon says 40 trees have been removed from the park since he moved to the neighborhood 20 years ago.
Parks Department won't let us plant trees, and they keep coming up with what are to us excuses. They say that, oh, there's no room in the park. But wait, there's room right here now, and there's room right there where they cut one down, and there's room over there, and there's room here where they cut the trees down. And
the recent storms have forced the Parks Department to focus on other areas of Madison, being unable to comment on this issue and leaving the tree blocking the sidewalk. A member of the Friends of Orton Park said that, well, we lost the tree, but we did gain a piece of playground equipment. The tree behind me will be used as a piece of organic playground equipment for one of Madison's oldest parks. Friends of Orton Park and Madison's Park Department will be talking sometime next week about what they're going to be doing with this fallen tree. In Orton Park, Amanda Skrzypchak, ABC 27 News. The National Weather Service has confirmed an EF2 tornado with peak wind speeds of 120 miles per hour hit Madison's west side. The tornado tore roofs off of 6 houses in a 2-block area of Yorkshire Road and Friar Lane, city officials say. Seconds were all homeowners in the area had to take cover before the storm tore through their neighborhood.
Literally saw the tornado just pulverizing all my trees. So at that point I started running for the basement, and I only made it as far as the hallway before the roof just was sucked right off, and I was holding on to the door to keep from getting sucked out myself.
Says Dave Fari, and cleanup could take a while. A number of trees and power lines were also knocked down during the storm. Officials are working to board up the homes that were severely damaged, but they're not certain when all of the debris will be completely cleaned up and homeowners will be safe to move back into their homes.
Right now we're just securing residences, and then it's a matter of putting them back together. Some maybe a month, some maybe a week, some maybe 2-3 months.
Some homes only suffered minor damage and loss of power, but homeowners like Patty Frisch won't soon forget the terrible storm.
In front of our house and all the way around the corner, it was just constant fire trucks, ambulances, police cars. It was just a wild, wild night.
Damage estimates to the city are between $7 to $10 million, according to Mayor Paul Soglin. During storm cleanup, certain roads may be blocked off in order to clear debris. Reporting on Friar Lane, Amanda Skrzypchak, 27 News. Blue-green algae is in full bloom on Madison area lakes. The toxic and sometimes deadly slime-like substance has been naturally occurring for millions of years, forming during hot, rainy weather. The bacteria can range from blue-green to reddish-purple or brown in color.
So it's smelly, it looks ugly, and so people tend to avoid it, but the pets don't necessarily discriminate based on color. and so that for them it can be really dangerous.
Christy Sorsa of the Public Health of Madison and Dane County says they regularly monitor and test the area's water conditions, closing beaches if the water is unsafe. However, Sorsa says the algae cannot be treated.
It's very difficult to, you can't really chemically treat the lake because that's just, if there's a bloom, that just releases the toxins.
Exposure to these toxins can produce a range of reactions, from rashes and blisters to flu-like symptoms. If you have been in the water recently and are feeling under the weather, you should contact your doctor immediately. Public health officials say that if you see the algae bloom in the water, to not go in. And if you do come in contact with the bloom, to wash yourself and your pets off immediately, as the toxins can be very harmful to you or your pet. Now, if you want to make sure that you and your family are swimming safely, you can always go to the publichealthmdc.com/beaches website to see which parks are open and which are closed. Reporting at Warner Park, Amanda Skrzypchak, 27 News.
From WKOW, coming to you live in HD. This is 27 News at 6. We've got you covered.
Finally home, the family of a toddler injured in a botched raid speaks out for the first time tonight. Good evening, I'm Amanda Skrzypchak. Greg is off tonight. The family of a Janesville 1-year-old badly hurt during a drug raid says they want justice. They were visiting Atlanta when police raided the home and threw a flashbang grenade that landed in their son's crib. Gordon Severson's got you covered with an update on his condition.
Watching 20-month-old Bunkan Ponsavan playing with his 3 sisters, a scarred smile only tells part of the story. The aftermath of countless surgeries on his face and mouth, with many more still to come.
It's hard. I mean, as a parent, you want to try and take that pain and hurt away from them. And you have to realize that you can't fix that for them.
It was a night. It was a rough night. That night, it took everything away from us.
The Ponsavans were staying with the father's sister in Georgia. Her son was the subject of a drug investigation in Habersham County. He wasn't currently living there, but investigators say they had information he was selling meth out of the house.
We intend on seeking a civil lawsuit against them because this family will have to deal with this the rest of their lives.
Attorneys with the family held a meeting here at the Madison Concourse Hotel with local attorneys, activists, and even the NAACP in order to tell their story of what happened down in Georgia and also get support for a family who still has a long road ahead of them. Attorneys are waiting for a federal investigation to wrap up, but the family plans to sue both the county and Cornelia Police Department, which participated in the raid, seeking money for ongoing medical expenses and emotional damage.
They don't feel safe. They don't feel secure. It's a very tough situation. None of them are sleeping at night.
In Madison, Gordon Severson, 27 News.
Thank you, Gordon. 27 News tried to reach the Habersham County Sheriff's Office and District Attorney, but our messages have not been returned. The sheriff has previously said there was no information to suggest children were staying at the home when the raid took place. He says had they known, the operation would have been carried out differently. Developing news out of Walworth County, the sheriff's office says a boy was shot in the head this afternoon in the town of Sharon. They say the shooting involved 2 boys, and it's too early to tell if it was an accident. They don't know who called the police.
That's a part of the investigation right now of who placed the call. So with that, it's a very preliminary right now, and that's all I have for you.
There's no word on the victim's condition at this time. Stay tuned to WKOW and our web channel for updates. Newly released records show a former West Allis officer charged with hiding 2 corpses was disciplined many times while on the force, including 3 suspensions and 4 reprimands. Several women filed complaints accusing Stephen Zelich of stalking and harassing them on duty. The 52-year-old is also a suspect in the deaths of the 2 women found in suitcases in Walworth County. Governor Walker asked for a disaster declaration for Grant County for June 16th storm damage. If granted, low-interest loans would be available to people and businesses affected by the storms. Crawford, Iowa, Lafayette, and Richland counties would also be eligible. 2 people were hurt in a crash caused by a toy gun yesterday. Jennifer Cleesy's got you covered with details of what happened.
Looked like a bomb went off.
These crash scene photos show the extensive damage a fake gun caused Tuesday evening. Rock County authorities say an 11-year-old boy was in the back seat of a car while his grandmother drove down Highway 59 in Milton. Witnesses told officials the boy leaned out the window and pointed this airsoft gun at a car behind them.
The driver felt threatened felt concerned that she was going to be shot at, so she abruptly hit the brakes.
Authorities say when the driver slammed on her brakes, a car behind her was unable to stop in time, rear-ended her, and wound up in the opposite lane of traffic, hitting another car head-on.
There was a Jeep over here turned upside down. There was 2 other cars involved, and the guys climbed right out of the cars without a scratch.
Amazingly, no one was seriously hurt. 2 people were taken to the hospital with minor injuries but have been released. Based on a description of the vehicle, investigators were able to find the boy's family a short while later. The sheriff's office is now asking juvenile authorities to require the boy serve probation for disorderly conduct.
We'll provide him the opportunity to become more well-rounded in his decision-making skills as he matures into adulthood.
In Milton, Jennifer Cleese, 27 News.
Thank you, Jennifer. Now, while airsoft or pellet guns are legal, but officials remind parents to monitor how their kids use them and use the toys only at home. The Dane County Sheriff's Office asks for help finding a missing 15-year-old. They say Jalen Allen Wallace left her home in Blooming Grove Sunday. Investigators say she at first had phone contact with her mother, but that has stopped. Potential destinations include Freeport or Rockford, Illinois. She's also known to frequent Madison State Street area. Anyone with information should call 284-6900. New documents were unsealed today in the lawsuit that halted an investigation into possible illegal coordination between Governor Walker's recall campaign and conservative groups. But they shed little light on the probe. They include portions of arguments made by a special prosecutor and an investigator as to why they should be immune from being sued by Wisconsin Club for Growth. Governor Walker has raised more than twice as much money as Mary Burke this year. Governor Walker reported today he has raised more than $8 million in 2014, while Mary Burke reports raising more than $3.5 million. Both campaigns reported their numbers nearly 2 weeks ahead of the July 21st deadline. A federal judge will not speed up the schedule in the ACLU's request to lift a stay on gay marriages in Wisconsin. Judge Barbara Crabb says the current schedule gives Attorney General J.B. Van Hollen till tomorrow to respond to the request the stay be lifted. He has until July 21st to appeal her ruling striking down the ban, something his office plans to do before the deadline. Still to come at 6, an area police chief highlights the importance of CPR training after saving a choking infant. Plus, Helping the Homeless, a program that supports homeless youth in Rock County, receives a generous donation today.